I guess that's what creativity is, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Not even wearing a robe. I don't know how that happened. Oh, I know how that happened. I was eating with my robe on, and then I went to change into my pajamas, and I left my robe after that because I would guess I was warm enough from the soup. I feel so much better today. I actually worked today, and then I did a bunch of stuff, and now I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I didn't do that much. We tried to go for a walk. Someone had to use the bathroom. There was no bathrooms. We had to come back home. Supper, a little bit of cleanup, like a tiny little bit of cleanup, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. You know that feeling of like after you're done being really sick and you feel so good and you want to do so much. You feel so refreshed and it's like, okay, it's time to clean up this place. And then you try and you're like, oh, I'm still tired. I need a little bit longer to recuperate. Yeah, that was me today. Oh my goodness. You should have seen earlier today when the sun was coming up. It was so gorgeous. The sun rays on the wall. Man, that probably sounds really lame if you're used to seeing the sun like every day, but like, oh, it was so gorgeous. Let me adjust this a little bit. Yep, here come the kids. Man, I've just been thinking so much about the purpose of my YouTube channel. I go in waves so much, but sometimes I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to create for myself. And then sometimes it's like, oh, well, what do people want to see? And then sometimes it's like, what can I offer people? Like, what am I providing? What is the reason people keep coming back? Sometimes I just feel like, oh, it's me, people like my personality, or maybe I share interesting tidbits or thoughts. And then sometimes I'm like, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm just sharing all this random stuff that, what is even the point? I guess that's what creativity is, isn't it? It's very much a roller coaster, and emotions are that way and feelings are that way. And if you don't have a goal, that's why you fall off the path, is because you don't know where you're going. So then in the down times, you're like, let me just quit this because there's no purpose, end goal, reason. So I'm just trying to push through in these down moments, and hopefully someday, as I just continue to work through. My SD card filled up and my kids were all over me after that, so I could not finish recording. So I'm just going to steal a trick that I just saw in a YouTube video that I watched from a creator called Creator Booth. I believe I'll link him below. He's hilarious, but his lights went out when he was recording, and so he just finished his video in the dark and basically said that when you're filming, just use your mishaps to your advantage and don't let it run you off the path. So here I am. Since I completely lost my train of thought right there, I'm just going to keep trying to continue through those down moments, the dip, when you're just feeling like, man, what am I doing? This is just crazy. I don't need to continue doing this because I have no reason. But I actually don't feel like that most of the time. It's just some of the time, and the feelings are so strong that I just question everything. And another thing about YouTube is that so many creators out there are already making videos, like longer form, 10, 20 minutes, whole podcasts about this is what you need to do. These are steps that I took. And I just don't want to do that. I don't want to be another voice in the crowd. So that's kind of why I like my short little daily videos. It's just little tidbits that I'm sharing. Of course, I believe it would be good if I could actually figure out a more specific focus. Like people talk about, if you take a magnifying glass and focus the sun in one specific spot for a period of time, you can burn a hole in something. But if you just, sit out in the sun and you're just super broadly shining on everything, the sun isn't just randomly burning holes and stuff. If you narrow your focus, you can have a bigger impact, right? So I'm working on that. And I do believe that if I just keep on going, I will eventually figure something out, because I think it's the same as like people talk about finding your passion. Well, I don't think you necessarily just randomly figure out your passion. I think you just take one step forward towards something that intrigues you or that you like, or that's like the least terrible path forward, and you just keep taking steps and taking steps until eventually you're happy where you are. That is what happened to me. I never had a passion. I never had a specific thing that I wanted to do when I grew up, and here I am now. Just I love where I am in life and work. So I will leave you with that thought. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.